The stories you've never heard.
Who did Suzanne Hill famously slap?
The jokes behind the jokes.
What would happen if I did a great big fart?
For the first time ever on Ash, Lutzy, and Susie O'Neill.
That Chando just peed a pants.
We go behind the laughter.
Welcome to Behind the Laughter for another Wednesday. It's currently 9:46, and my name's assistant producer Lachie. I'm here with executive producer Alicia.
Oh, dropping the full title.
Well, you know, that's what we should be doing, establishing who we are. It's always good to reset, Alicia. It's a bit of a radio thing. I'm not sure if you understand. We're missing digital content producer Nick, who usually intros this show, because where's he this week?
He's just off flitting on his little holidays.
Exactly.
Must be nice.
Another little holiday. I don't know why he needs to take another little one after we just had a break. But
absolutely draining work posting on social media, Lachie.
yeah, it really is. So, you know, mad respect to Nick. I would jokingly suggest that we call him, but he is on leave at the moment. So
what's that thing that came into effect?
The right to disconnect.
That's it, yeah.
Although we're not his bosses, so...
That is also true. He can't sue us for calling him.
Exactly. So I think we'd be technically in the clear, but probably a moral grey area that we're not going to exploit. We are 3 shows in to the week already, over halfway. And it's been a fun week so far. We've had Yo Play Double Play going off every single day, so people just walking away with easy $1,000 just for calling through.
So jealous.
Yeah?
I'm so
I mean, you're not
it was that
eligible.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I wish it was that easy for me to win money.
Yeah.
But I can't.
We gave away $500 this morning at 9 a.m. in Smarter Than Sue's.
Oh, yeah.
Catherine from St. Lucia.
Sue's was not smarter than Catherine.
No. And she wasn't happy that I put a doctor through, which I feel like I can't discriminate. If someone calls through and they go, I'm a doctor, I can't really...
sorry. Suze doesn't want to take on anyone smart.
It's a little bit discriminatory, I would say, to go, look, you're too smart for this game, and then where do you draw the line? Like if someone says...
But Suze is really smart.
Suze
That's
is.
the thing.
Yeah. Do you go, hey, I'm a high school teacher. Okay, great. You're allowed to go through. I'm a primary school teacher. Oh, you can definitely go through. Like, I don't want to start...
Whoa.
My wife's a
What are you
primary school
saying?
teacher.
What are you
I feel like I can
about
make
teachers?
that. No, I'm saying that...
Teachers assemble. Let's
yeah,
take them down.
Sure. Okay. My whole family are teachers. That's why I feel like I can make that observation. But yeah, Sue's lost, unfortunately, for her. But we're back to $100 tomorrow. And we had a little bit... if you don't mind, I want to go a little bit behind the scenes, because just after the show, this might be a little bit too soon for you, Alicia. You pitched what I thought was a pretty good idea to the team, attending an event featuring the Irwins. And a number of times you mentioned Steve was going to be at this event. Now, I'm not sure when you came to Australia,
Look,
Alicia.
It's called the Steve Irwin Gala.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was in my head, and so I kept accidentally calling Robert Steve.
You're like, Terry and Steve will be there. And look, it would take a miracle. For Steve to be there. I think the whole reason this gala exists is to
It is very soon after Halloween, so you never know.
Well, that would be spooky. But incredible if Steve was to be there. It's all about his great work, I guess, that he did throughout his lifetime, and the legacy that he continues to live on.
I did get thrown the classic line from Mitch of the you flew here, we grew here. Alicia. Did that make international news? Like in Wigan when
at home?
Steve Irwin died?
Yeah.
I don't remember because I was a child, but I knew who Steve Irwin was growing up, yes.
I was a child when I found out, and I obviously, because it happened
crocodile
in
hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did know who he was.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And I knew that he was dead.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But you just it didn't make international news the day he passed away.
Well, it would have, but like I said, I was a child, so I don't remember it happening.
I remember watching afternoon television. There's a TV show called The Shack on Channel 9, and The Shack finished it.
Is that the one that Old Mate was in?
Which one?
The DJ Scott Tweedy?
No, no, he wasn't on The Shack.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna. There were 4 of them. It was Nitro, Curio,
Nitro. I think
Eco.
I've interviewed him before.
Yeah, probably.
On this show?
No, it wouldn't
Maybe
have been
not.
this show.
I don't feel like the guys would want to
No,
talk to.
and Picasso
Sorry.
was the other one. And the show, it started at 4, finished at 4:30, and you'd always go. They'd finish, the credits would roll, and then it would go straight into the 4:30 bulletin. And the 4:30 bulletin was, in breaking news or an update. Steve Irwin has passed away, and that broke me.
So I was 9 when
Yeah.
he died,
Yeah.
so I don't remember that.
You don't. I think.
No.
I honestly think that if you were to ask most people, where
I mean,
you
you would have
went-
been 8. Do
Yeah.
you remember it?
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
I remember waking up the next day and watching. We had on.
It probably was a bigger deal here in,
Australia. Yeah,
Brisbane
yeah.
and Queensland.
I'd say in Australia.
It definitely made the news, but I just don't. But I also don't remember anything from when I was a kid. I have a very bad memory.
Apart from Wigan kebabs, which I mean, we might be going out and giving our listeners an opportunity, perhaps on Friday, to taste their own Wigan kebab.
See. I don't know.
It's in the works. It's in the works at the moment. I honestly would say that the Irwins are almost like a royal family.
Yeah,
like
they are. Yeah.
Like Robert is the prince. He has it going on. And then Bindi, the older sister who maybe taking a step away from royal duties and not so much in the limelight as she raises her own young family. And then Terry, the strong, powerful queen.
American lady, yeah.
Yeah. So very much, I think it'll be a fantastic event that you got an invite to and I didn't. So
Right.
it must be nice to be the executive producer on this show.
Think someone's a bit sore.
No. I like Robert Irwin and I would love to meet him. I think it'd be great. My wife also loves him probably more than I do. So it'd be like a little flex to be able to go home and be like, hey, Susanna, guess who I'm meeting today. Guess what we got an invite to. The Irwin Gala.
Yeah.
The Steve Irwin Gala. And there might be animals there.
There are animals there.
Oh, I heard that there's an opportunity to interview the animals. Was that also something that you said at one point?
No, it's something that Ash and Lutzi ran with, of course. I said Terry and Robert will be there with animals and you can interview them. And we'll interview the animals. What's it like being a giraffe? And
Yeah, it's a good bit though.
It's very Ash and Lutzi. Is what I'll say about that.
Throwback Throwdown also happened today. We're throwing it back to 1984, and I'll be honest, just between you and me, because the guys don't listen to this podcast, right?
Nobody listens to this podcast, Lucky.
According to Nick, this is our second most listened to podcast. So I'll believe Nick, who has the podcast stats. The guys don't listen to this. We're repeating this year. This is a repeat year because there's 40 years that we could potentially delve into for Throwback Throwdown. We go back 40 years. And there's actually, to be honest, it's probably closer to 35 because we won't do years that are within the last 5 years or so. And so that means that we have to repeat some when we get to the end of the year. This is a repeat year. So there are 4 songs that were on this list that I had to cut because we did them earlier
last year.
Earlier on in this year. Yeah. And even still, looking at some of the songs on this list, 1984, a very strong year when it comes to music. Let's just quickly go through what they picked. I'll start off with Mitch. I think this is probably one of the strongest songs.
Wake me up before you go, leave me hanging on the line.
Great song.
Great song, Zoolander.
I think Mitch is going to take this.
Well, it's currently between this song and then also Lutzie's pick.
Hey, baby, I'm just a fast star tonight. I'm dying for some
Bruce Springsteen, Dancing in the Dark. Probably in other movies as well.
Probably. Probably in something.
And then these 2 songs are in a battle for last place.
I have never heard this song
I can't
in
say
my
I've heard
life.
this
Is this the
before.
one that Susie picked by accident?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and embarrassing
She
pick.
didn't mean to pick that. I don't know which one she meant to pick, but she accidentally said this.
She meant to pick the other
I think
Frankie
she meant
Goes
to pick
Hollywood
Relax,
one.
yeah. Which this might have done really well.
I don't know this song either.
You don't know this song?
No.
Don't do it.
No. I think this is
a
still a
great
weak song. And then Ash chose Phil Collins.
Yeah, it's just too slow. It is a great song, but it's not not the Thursday pump up we need.
No. So those are the 4 picks. You can go vote right now on the Ash Lutzi and Susie O'Neill Instagram if you're listening to this, obviously before 7:50 on Thursday morning. Go have your say. There's some still great songs on the table. This one for me is an iconic one.
Yes, I love this song. I'm surprised this didn't get picked. Also, Footloose.
Oh, yeah?
I thought could have gone. Sunday shoes. I think this could have gone quite well as well. Because everyone knows this.
Another one that I love is this one.
Yeah. was the first one Susie picked. I feel like this was her gut instinct.
Yeah.
And she kind of looked at me and I gave her the thumbs up and then she didn't pick it for whatever reason.
Another classic.
I can't believe this is that old. I didn't realise this was from the 80s.
Billy Joel.
I remember growing up listening to this, although it might have been a cover.
Yeah.
I feel like it was probably a cover.
Perhaps.
Westlife, I think, covered this.
Here's another one.
I would have picked this, I think.
This wouldn't have polled well, I'll tell you right now. No.
Why?
This isn't polling well. It's a fun song, but I don't think it's polling well.
Really?
Yeah.
I think this would have been my pick.
It's one of those,
Either this or Footloose would have been my pick.
it's one of those songs, I think, where if we were playing not with our heads, we're playing with our hearts, great pick. But I think if you're playing to win, then you're not picking Karma Chameleon. The only other song I'll say that I absolutely love that didn't quite get a nod is this one.
All night. Yeah, I was doing a bit of a head dance in the producer's booth to this.
I walked into my wedding reception to this song.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was there a bit of an innuendo to that, or?
What do you mean? No, great song. So Throwback Throwdown, if you want to go have your say, go and vote right now on the Ash Lachie and Susie O'Neill Instagram. There's been a little bit of action this past couple of days on the Instagram, specifically Lachie in LA on Instagram. The last break of today's show.
He did it out of a hot tub.
The last segment was out of a hot tub overlooking, I guess, the valley that he overlooks.
There's just
from
some other dude in the hot tub with him.
his best mate, Bowie.
Yeah, well, still.
Yeah. A little bit strange if you don't know who Bowie is. To go, who's this bloke?
It was even funny when Lutzy was in the house and then all of a sudden just a shirtless dude in a towel came into frame and was staring at us down the camera.
It's quite impressive, I guess the contacts that Lutzy has to be able to then go to overseas and stay in this massive mansion of a very successful businessman, obviously because they own this house. Yesterday he was saying he was being kicked out momentarily for, I can't exactly remember the reason, but it was basically security were doing a sweep or something to that effect. He's staying across the road from Tyler, the Creator, so he's living his best life over in LA at the moment, whilst we're here in beautiful Brisbane.
Just to rub salt in the wound.
Yeah.
Brisbane is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, what are you trying to say about my hometown?
I moved here. You
Yeah.
didn't get a choice. I did, and I chose Brisbane.
As Mitch would say, you flew here, I grew here.
Thanks, Lachie.
Yeah. Anyway, that's probably it. This is a little quick punchy, give you an update as to what's going on
Yeah,
behind
because I
the
never have
scenes.
any content, so I rely on Lachie and Nick, so when one of them isn't here, it's always a shorter pod.
Yeah,
Sorry.
look, that's probably it. I went out on the street yesterday.
You did?
That
How
was
was that?
It was pretty good.
Yeah. And you got driven as well.
I-
We even had a supernova and
Yeah,
just drive you around.
Subway. We're doing Takeaway Tuesday. You can register also while you're on the Nova Player. Register for, I guess, Takeaway Tuesday next week. I think Subway are jumping back on board next week, perhaps.
Do you know what? Like, in the confidence of the podcast,
Ooh.
I hate that phrase, jump on board, and the whole team
Really?
says it. And I feel like once I noticed it, it's like
okay.
it's like nails on a chalkboard to me every time somebody says it.
So what would be your vernacular of choice?
I don't know. I don't know, but I just feel like there's probably another way to say it.
So
And
you
I
don't
feel
like when we
the-
say that
the
Subway
show,
have jumped on board?
The show heavily relies on the phrase "jumped on board,"
Well-
and it grates me.
Alicia, if you've got other suggestions as to what we can say when a business has signed up, has said yes, we will help out, we will come to the party, we will provide cash money or provide vouchers for you to give away.
There you go. You've just given 8 ways to say it right there.
But the problem with that is that it doesn't sound as sexy. I think when you say they've jumped on board, it's like, oh, that sounds fun. I want to be on that bus. If it's a bus, it could be a boat. It could be like the Oasis that you can also jump on board. You don't like it?
It literally sends shivers down my
Really?
spine. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I think because we say it so much. And I'm
Okay.
sorry to all the listeners out there now that will now notice it.
Oh, yeah. Way to ruin the show. If we tank in ratings because of this.
Mitch in particular, but everybody else does.
So
do
are
it
you
as well.
saying that for Christmas this year, if you get Mitch in the Secret Santa, you're going to give him a thesaurus and just highlight I don't think they do phrases
I'm
in
just
this.
going to give him one A4 sheet of paper with all the alternatives to jump on board.
Yeah, okay. Well, if
Yeah.
you can come up with some more that maybe I can then use when teasing stuff on this podcast, or if ever I need to do another cross and say, hey, Subway have jumped on board to help one workplace celebrate Takeaway Tuesday, then please let me know, because I'd also like to improve.
Yeah, okay.
But that's an interesting insight into you that you don't like that.
And Buzz knows it, so every time he now says it, he looks me dead in the eye when he says it.
Oh,
With like a little smirk.
he does the exact same thing for me. Not with that. He knows that it annoys me. Part of my job, and you also do this as well, is taking down the log. So if ever,
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
yeah. If ever, basically, so that we can track what's happened in the show, we send it out to clients, we send it out to with sales team, and we go, hey, this is what we talked about in the show today. If ever there's something that is worth kind of sending to the Career Mail, there was a story that Ash did a couple of weeks ago,
Oh, yeah,
or
when he
last
missed
week
his
when
flight.
he missed his flight to the NRL Grand Final. We send it out, and we go, hey, here are the kind of the best bits from the show if you want to kind of make a story out of them.
If you want to jump on board.
Well, that's not how I would use that phrase there, but there you go. And what happened is that we write down everything that happens in the show, including every single time what if is mentioned. So every time Buzz goes, Ash Lachie and Susie O'Neill, 10:02, what if? It's Aussie for travel. We have to make note of that. Now, he knows that if ever we're in the studio for Brouhaha, if ever I am not at my desk with my little laptop, I am in trouble, because I then have to, it's only a 3-second thing. I then have to go back and remember that he did that what if mention. And he does it now to antagonize me, I swear.
No, he does. I've seen him do it to you while we're in the studio for Brouhaha. He'll look you dead in the eyes and he'll do a little smirk and he'll go, thanks to what if, it's Aussie for travel.
It's we love Buzz. We really do. But he does like to do some things every now and again to annoy us. Speaking of things that annoy us, I do want to say one more thing.
Oh,
before
my
we wrap
God,
this
there's
up.
more.
No, I know. This podcast is
This
really
is the
just
whining pod.
an avenue for venting. It's been my job to collate some of the Oasis entries when people register on the Nova Player, which they can do, and they can jump on board the Oasis. But it's been my job to collate the entries for this and then kind of pick some out of a hat. But I'm absolutely instantly excluding anyone who says that their song to add to the playlist is Thriller.
Why?
Because
have we had a single person been through with Thriller?
we have.
Okay.
We have. We've had. I swear we've had almost 2 or 3.
Well, you could still call them back and just say, hey, change your song, because that one's already on the playlist.
Yeah, no, but I think if you're listening to the show, you would know that.
I didn't know.
Well,
There's a lot of entrants, Lachie. You don't remember every single song that gets said.
Well, Murder on the Dance Floor is another one we get a whole lot of. And then Time
Interesting.
Warp is the third song.
Is that on the playlist yet?
I believe
I don't
so.
think we've had anyone with Time Warp.
We have.
No,
because
I don't think we have.
I
See, even I can't remember.
yeah.
But that's a great song.
But it's part of my job to be across that though. And
But you can't write them off just for writing down a song that somebody's already written.
no, I can. I can.
Oh, there you go.
So if you're gonna have a song suggestion, make it not Thriller by Michael Jackson. Murder on the Dance Floor.
Just any song you can dance to. It doesn't have to be a
Yeah,
Halloween
it doesn't
song.
have to be a Halloween, like a spooky themed song.
Has anybody put Monster Mash yet?
Oh, that's the other one that we get so many entries on.
Mash.
And we've also put someone through already.
Monster Mash. Monster Mash.
Yeah,
I
okay.
love that song.
I can tell. I can tell. So if you're looking for some songs, it just a song that gets you on the dance floor. Maybe we should start making that playlist public so that people know what songs have already been taken. You
I
don't.
don't think anybody cares. You know?
Wow.
I think you're the only person that cares.
Wow. That's part of my job is to care, Alicia. And if you want a good show, you want someone who's going to care about the songs that people pick when they sign up to be a part of our Halloween party.
Sure.
What song would you add to the playlist? And I'll tell you if it's good or not, or if it's been added.
Well, how about Avril Lavigne? Nobody's picked her yet, have they?
That's true. I think you'd be maybe one of the only people in Brisbane to pick Avril Lavigne to add to the playlist.
Shocking.
What song? Complicated?
No, that's too slow.
Skater Boy.
Probably Skater Boy, just to please the masses.
Yeah.
I'd probably personally pick a different song, but you know.
I mean, Skater Boy, would you go as... you've already got a costume, don't you?
I've got a costume. That's a great costume, though, Avril Lavigne. Or you mean Skater Boy?
Or both.
Do you know I did think of a costume today? This is for anybody who is struggling to think of what they can go as. And I'm so upset that I already ordered my costume. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. Oh my God, it's gone from my head.
I haven't seen that one.
What's it called? And it's got Meryl Streep in it and the two dead women. I googled it just before. So
Couldn't tell you.
On my Death Becomes Her. So, and it's got Meryl.
If someone walked in that costume, I wouldn't know what that is.
That's crazy. So there's a part where not Meryl Streep, the other woman, and I can't remember her name, but she gets thrown back onto something, or she gets shot or something, and she's got a hole in her stomach, and she's wearing this gorgeous red dress, and she's all made up, but she's got this big, kind of like in Shaun of the Dead, when they push her onto the pole. And you can make a costume out of it, and it's really cool. And then she gets wet later on, so all of her hair gets drenched, and mascara's running, and she's got this big hole in her stomach. And that's what I'm going to do next year. But if anybody's struggling for a costume this year, it'd be a great costume.
See, I grew up in a pretty conservative household. It was my sister's birthday on Halloween, so we didn't. That was kind of the excuse. But the only ghost that we celebrated in our house was the Holy Ghost. So. That was my upbringing surrounding Halloween. So I have no idea. I've never heard of that movie before.
Death Becomes Her. It's a great movie. It's from the 90s.
Okay.
So it's pretty old, but it's a classic.
There you
classic
go.
Meryl Streep.
There you go. Well, those are some costume ideas, and if you want to jump on board, you've at least got you've at least got a song idea in Skater Boy that could get you bumped up that list. So go to the Nova Player app right now or Nova FM. And register to be a part of. I'm now trying to make sure I say don't jump on board. Register to be a part of our Halloween cruise. We could be giving you a call back tomorrow. And other than that, any final words, Alicia?
Just keep swimming, beaches.
Oh, throwback.